What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Wealth Not Wait. I'm your host, as always, Joseph Coizza, and in today's episode, we are talking about something that everybody knows I love to talk about. We are talking about college, and specifically how to go to college for a more reasonable price. As everybody knows, that college is extraordinarily expensive. If you didn't know, now you know. Extraordinarily expensive, from everything from just a basic tuition down to the meals you eat. Everything is extraordinarily fucking expensive for zero reason. There is no reason for it to be that expensive, but unfortunately, college in America and most of the world, it is extraordinarily expensive. So today we are going to talk about the person who is very vocal about his feelings on college, going to college, and the expense of college. And we're going to just get into it and talking about how to go to college from cheaper. This is information I've gathered from multiple strong sources, multiple people who I know in college themselves, multiple experiences I've had with the time, very short time that I was in college, and took the few classes that I took from advisors, parents, anybody that I can think of who is a viable, knowledgeable source on the subject. This is what this is derived from as far as information. So the first thing we're going to talk about is scholarships and grants. Okay, we're going to put the list over here to the side. Me and Post is going to be working on that. Scholarships and grants. This should be your job. If it's not, even if you have a job already, this is going to be your secondary job in high school. You should be looking, your parents, whoever is assisting you in this process of picking colleges, going to colleges, and just the whole college situation in general. If it's just you, I'm sorry, you're going to be the one doing this the whole time. But if your parents or anybody else is helping you out, this should also be on their priority list. Finding websites that have scholarship opportunities, finding grants, finding anything that you can get that gives you free, non-money that you have to pay back, regardless of whatever it is or where it comes from. As long as you somewhat kind of sort of qualify for it, just apply. If it's just like, oh, this is for people who like the color blue, but only on certain colors for Tuesdays, between the hours of 12, whatever the fuck it is. If you're just like, yeah, that kind of sounds like me, or yeah, it kind of sounds like, I could swing it, that sounds about right, that sounds like it fits me. I could see in a world where that reasonably applies to me, apply for it. Worst case scenario is they say no. Take the 30 minutes, take the hour to stop and write up a scholarship, write up your essay for the scholarship. Take the 30 minutes to apply for it. Some of them don't even need essays. Some things are just like entering your information here. It takes you 20, 30 minutes, you fill out the form, and that's it. A lot of people will get scholarships because others don't apply for those specific scholarships. A lot of people get scholarships because they apply the most for it. Or maybe you're really good at essay writing. Find scholarships that you could write an essay for and spend the time to do it, especially in high school. I understand you probably have tryouts for stuff. I understand you probably have a job. I understand you going about the rest of your life and trying to enjoy life. That is amazing and what you should be doing. But in addition to that, if college is the thing that you know you want to do, you need to be applying for scholarships. You need to be seeing how people will give you free money to go to school and better yourself. They are investing in you, and you don't have to pay any of it back. That's what you need to be doing. That is your primary thing that you need to be doing. Look for 10 a week. It's less that's a little more than 1 a day. Do 2 a day, however long it takes. Do 10 a week. As you get into senior year, do 3, 4 a day, however many you can get, okay? Even if it's a small amount, $100, $200, $300, I don't care if it's $50. However much it is, try and get it, because comparably to your college bill, if you get 10 scholarships that all pay $100, and now you're down to $1,000 for scholarship money, and your schooling, the entire thing costs, let's say 40, 50 grand. That's now 140, if that's now 150, if that's 2% or more of your college that you don't have to worry about, which is a big thing. A lot of people, about $32,000 is from the average person who owes a student loan by the end of their college term. $32,000, about 13% of America. It's about 1 in 8 people owe student loans. And as you know here, we are very much against student loans. As you know by a lot of people online, they're very much against student loans. The federally insured student loan program is a joke. Do not take out a student loan. We'll get to that a little more on the topic, but having a portion of your college paid for, no matter how small, by a scholarship or grant will save you money in the long run. Secondly, and also extraordinarily important, is pick the right school. Picking the right school, and if you need to go to college. Again, this is where I'm going to come in. I know a lot of people know my feelings on it, but if you need to go to college in the first place, are you going to be a trombone major? If you want to be a famous tubist, if you want to go and become a chef, chances are you don't have to go to college. You just need to have information or know how to play the trombone very well. Or I know how to bake. A lot of that is going to school won't necessarily get you a job, won't necessarily give you the notoriety, won't necessarily give you the knowledge you need to go and be outstanding somewhere. It may give you basics, may give you a little bit of advancement for things like, say, being a chef or somewhat, but you don't need that. Going and doing an internship for a year, or studying under a chef, or being a sous chef at a decent restaurant, or really anybody who will take you in, getting that practice and maybe doing the same amount of work and time. It takes you 4 years to get a 4-year cooking degree. interning or being in a position or a small position of that job for 4 years will get you infinitely more knowledge and work experience to become what you want later on in life. Now, if you need to be something like, oh, I want to be an HR manager of a big Fortune 500 company, chances are then you'll need a scholarship. I have people going to school right now, oh, I want to be in the biology field, I want to be in criminology, I want to be a music teacher. Stuff like that you're going to need a degree for. That's just a dream, that's what you want to do in life, you're 100% confident in that, or you have a very strong feeling of that's what I want to do for the rest of my life, then unfortunately you will need college for that. But just a lot of people will go, I have zero idea what to do in my life. Zero. I could be a chef, I could be a mechanic, I could be an airplane fucking pilot, I could be a tuba playist, or I could be a professional video gamer. Any of those options are options at this point. I have zero fucking idea what I want to do leaving high school. Why are you going and throwing all this money and all this time and effort into something when you don't even know what you want to do? You are making a large financial and time-based commitment at a very early age that's going to affect probably the rest of your life, if not the majority of your life, and you have no idea what the fuck you're doing. Tell me how smart that sounds to anybody. If you have zero idea what you want to do not go and just be like, yes, take all my money and go to college or do something. Or if you want to do something and leave your options open, you go to a trade school. Be electricians, to be plumbers, to be fucking airplane technicians, to be automotive people, or a lot of marine, a lot of people who work on boats. A lot of that is high demand right now. Like they said, there's a huge demand for people working on airplanes. You make 80 to 100 grand a year if you get up in the career a little bit. You're there for 4 to 6 years, 80 to 100 grand a year, I believe, and it's in high demand. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's going and taking the four-year class and taking the thing which costs a fraction of college, going to a trade school, and then working to be an airplane technician. I'm sure there's plenty of jobs that people love to do that, and they didn't even know that's an opportunity for them, or they didn't know that they had that option, or they didn't know it paid so well. Being informed and not just listening to anybody, which is going to bring us into our third point, not just listening to anybody, one in particular, not myself, not your parents, not just your advisors, not just the school, whatever it is, talking to a broad range of people is going to open up your mind and show you maybe going to college isn't for you. Okay, picking up the right college is also extraordinarily important. Picking the right college, going into a community college or a state school or an Ivy League school, picking the right college is extraordinarily important if you decide that college is for you. Picking the right college and saying, okay, what is it that I can afford? Maybe some people have their dream schools in mind and say, hey, this is my dream school, this is where I want to go to, this is amazing, this is exactly the place I want to be, it's an amazing campus, but it's going to cost me $100,000 a year, it's going to cost me $150,000 a year. Is it really worth it? You need to say, oh, this is my dream school. Why is it your dream school? Is that worth $150,000 a year, comparably to say something kind of close that's significantly less? Is it worth it? You need to really sit there and think about it more than often. And when calm heads prevail and you don't get all emotional about it, and yes, of course, this is where my parents went, this is where my friends are going, calm heads prevail and they sit there and they think, nah, it's not worth 4 times the price. A lot of people also don't look at with a heavy way on where you went to college unless it's an Ivy League school. If you got a 4-year degree for a community college versus 4 years from just a normal state school and you're equally qualified, and you're exact same in every single way, shape, or form, then yes, maybe it would play a difference. Otherwise, if you're a great candidate, maybe you got it for cheaper, or you got the degree quicker, you get it from a community college, but you're also a better person, or you're more suited for that position, or you have more information or more experience. That is going to be a bigger factor for you than anybody who just came out of college with a degree from a state school or a nice school that's not an Ivy League school. I have a year more experience than that other person did. And we have the same degree just from different schools, chances are that other person is going to get picked. That's it. That's a lot of people just want to see maybe you have a degree. I know I worked with a lot of people in charge, a lot of people in the range of the office positions that we had there. They just didn't go to school for that specifically, or they didn't go and get a degree from the most prestigious school. They just had a degree which opened up the opportunity for them. They got a degree in marketing, they got a degree in business, they got a degree in biology, they got a degree in fucking social science, and tuba playing, in fucking audio mechanics, but now they're working in the market section. Now they're our HR manager, now you're a store director. You have the degree, and then, which more importantly with that is also they had the experience, they internshiped and they did stuff there. So the school doesn't necessarily play a huge factor in picking the right school. A community college can be significantly cheaper than a state school, and then of course Ivy League schools. And you have to really think, is this job that I'm going for, if I just want to make 60 grand a year, just working a job, or I want to make 80 grand a year, just working a job, and I know it needs this degree, going and spending a ridiculous more amount of money on schooling versus say going to community college or doing something like that is just stupid. If you're like, my ambition is to be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, I have to do this, this is my dream, I want to be this, I want to work for this company, this, and I know it, I internship there, whatever, and you know it in your heart of hearts, then maybe it's a better investment to do that. But very, very rare cases is a better investment to go with a more expensive school when it's just not something that you need. A lot of people think, oh, the better the school, the better chance I'll have of getting a job. If it's a very specific job or very high level prestigious job, Ivy League school is the best thing to do for that, obviously. But if it's just a normal job, the experience and anything else will apply to it as well. So picking the right school is going to be extremely important for that, because you go to a school and the school could be 80 grand a year or the school could be fucking 20 grand a year. I know I made fun of it, my local community college, and oh, $1,200 for this, but that's $400 a class. Other places, I know a lot of my friends, they go to schools, they pay $800 to $1,000 a class. Now let's say we were going for the same degree. You really, really think about that. You're paying twice as much as I am, and maybe I could finish sooner than you can. Maybe I have more opportunities to work in because it's a community college, they have more opportunities within that space to go out and get a job in my community. Maybe I don't want to be wherever that state school is located, oftentimes middle of nowhere college town. They don't have connections to where my hometown is or the places that I want to live. So going to a community college and doing stuff like that may be a better option if you just really look into your schools and don't pick a school just for the fucking sake of, oh, I like the campus, I like it, oh, this is cool, and this is where my friends go. Don't do that. Really make sure you're picking the right school for you. Just talk to your advisors, talk to everybody around, talk to your parents, talk to other people who are in college currently, really take stock in yourself, talk internally to yourself and have that emotional intelligence and know, okay, what do I want to do? Where do I want to go? What is the best option for me? Get a wide variety of people who know what the fuck they're talking about. Not just listen, well, my son, you have to go here, daughter, you have to go here because of this. Or, oh yes, you need to go to college because of this, and this reason. And it's just basic bullshit reasons. Or, oh, you'll have a better option of getting a job later on in life if you go to this specific college. Or, oh, hey, well, if you go to college now and you don't like it, at least you have a degree. Make sure you get a wide variety of opportunities. Don't just listen to me. Don't just listen to your school. Don't just listen to your parents. Don't listen to your advisors. Get a wide variety of everybody. Talk to everybody, and then you need to make the decision for yourself. Just make sure you're making it accurately. Make sure you're talking to everybody and making sure you're making a decision with the educated information, not just from one source. If you listen to high school, they're going to tell you, yes, you have to go to college, you got to go to the best school possible and do this. If you go to your parents, they may tell you the same thing, they may not tell you the same thing. Oh yes, of course you have to go to college, or oh no, I didn't go to college, or I don't have to go to college. Whatever the option is for you, remember it's your life. So if you're going to be making a huge financial and time-based decision, like I told you, with your life, that's going to affect your life for the rest of your life, okay? We can't stress enough how it's your life. That's why I said it like 95 fucking times. It's your life. You want to make the best decision possible and get all the information you can, and it wants to be your decision. It has to be your decision, not just what your parents want, not just what your friends will think is cool or not just what I am telling you. Make sure it's the best decision for you, and you got to get educated and talk to everybody about that. Finally, don't if you do decide to go to college and you go somewhere, you could save a fuck ton of money on textbooks. Just don't buy textbooks until you know you need them. There were some classes I took in community college where they said you were going to be using this textbook and that textbook and this and that, and we just didn't. The fact of the matter is we just didn't. Or, oh hey, I know it says in the syllabus to buy the textbook, but I have enough class set to provide everybody for it. We're only going to be working with it when we're in class anyway, so here's a class set, everybody can use it. I have both those options. I took 2 classes. One class didn't require the textbook. I think maybe one fucking reading we required it. One assignment, one reading throughout my entire time in that class for that semester. And the other one, they handed the textbook to us. Each textbook was $60 to $100. If I didn't buy the textbook until I know I needed it, I would have saved anywhere from $160 to $200, which I didn't buy the textbook anyway, because that's just me. But I would have saved, if I was somebody who bought textbooks ahead of time, it was $160 to $200. Now, of course, if it's a high value textbook, you run the risk of not having it if you do need it. But really look in the class, talk to people again who've had that class and find out if you really need it. If you do need the textbook, buy it used. Go on places like Amazon. I'm gonna have a whole bunch of websites here. Thrift books, go to the library if they have it and you could just use it while you're at the library. Whatever the option is, buy it used, get a hold of it. Maybe you and your friends, you and your friend who goes there, you guys could chip in, one of you has a textbook and then you guys study together and alternate. Oh, hey, I got work tonight. I'm not going to be studying here. Use the textbook. Drop it off by my door and we'll figure it out. However you got to work it out. You could save money on textbooks and parents. I'm going to tell you this, if you're paying for your kids' college, or kids, if you're paying for your own college, or adults now, you're probably the same age I am, 21, or around that age. you're gonna need to take out a fucking second mortgage if you have to pay for your textbooks. I went and visited my friends, again, at a state school. Some Ivy League schools I've seen, you go into the fucking library and you're like, oh my fucking God. One basic bullshit book you could probably buy online for $6 used is like $80 at a fucking school library. It's ridiculous. Any textbook, anything like that, you're gonna have to, it's insane. You're gonna have to open up a fucking business and refinance 4 houses just to pay for the one fucking math textbook. Or, oh, God forbid you need a fucking psychology textbook. It's like $600 for a fucking textbook. I'm sure there's people who spent way more than that on a textbook and they're like, $600, that's fucking cheap for the shit I'm getting. I'm getting fucking quantum physics, this written by the fucking professor. So they know it's, you know, they know it's in the textbook. I know there's crazy shit like that, but get it used. Find a way to share. Go to the library. There's about a billion other ways that you could do it than just going and buying it brand fucking new for 10 grand, 20 grand, $200 is too fucking much. However much you can get to get it cheap or have it used is the best way to do it if you have to get the textbook in the first place. Financial aid, that's another thing. Number 5, financial aid. Look into it, see options. Schools will say, hey, listen, you and your parents make under a certain amount, you know, or you're from a low-income household or a lot of stuff. Again, don't substitute the scholarships for this. Make sure you're doing the scholarships and everything else, but say, hey, listen, we understand that you come from a tough position. We will pay for part of your schooling and or discount part of your schooling for you. I know a lot of friends of mine who went to community college. They applied for financial aid, and they got financial aid, and they got, you know, 10, 15% off their college. Again, granted, it's not this infinite fucking huge amount, but 10, 15%, and then the stuff you're doing from scholarships and then saving money on textbooks, this, that, it all adds up. Eventually, your college will be significantly less than what you're doing if you just paid for it all right up, and you're gonna pay significantly less than you would just paying for it all outright, out of pocket. Yep, okay, it's well, how much for the textbook? Okay, cool, here, take my money. That's the fucking stupidest way you could do it. So don't do that. Make sure you apply for every little thing that you can. Financial aid, scholarships, cheap textbooks, everything you can. And try and do it as best you can from that, because then you'll be saving a shit ton of money in the long run. This goes back a little bit to number 2 with the if you need college at all, take a year off if you have no fucking clue what you're doing. If you have zero idea what you're doing, take a year off to find yourself and figure it out. I know a lot of people can't afford to do stuff like that, or they have their parents breathing down their necks. Get a job, go somewhere, live with roommates, you know, fucking live on the floor for $100 a month, whatever the fuck you gotta do. Take a year off or 6 months off, or a good chunk of time. I took, I believe it was like 6 to 9 months off. And don't go directly into college. A lot of people who go, oh, I went from high school and then I did a little bit of stuff over the summer and now I'm directly into college. I'm kind of fucked out of luck because I'm now doing something I don't love. Oh, hey, I never found out what I like to do and I just kind of picked something. I wish I would have had better experiences. You know, it's a lot of people will say, oh, if I go and do that, I'm never gonna go to college. Well, you gotta figure out and you gotta find that for you then. If you have the financial means to do so, or you obviously have a way to figure it out. You know, you can live very cheaply. Like I said, go live with fucking 10 roommates and for $100 a month. Whatever you have to do at that point, just for a couple months or for a year. If you have money to go travel, and just figure out who you are and what the fuck you want to do with your life. You just spent all this time, you just spent 12 years of your life, 4 years being a grown-up essentially. And now you're this person, and if you don't know who the fuck you are and you're asked to make $100,000 potential decisions and effects that's gonna affect not just the 4 years or 6 years or 8 years or however long you're gonna go to school for, intimately for that section, but then the rest of your life after that, you should at least know who you are first. You should at least know I'm comfortable making a decision because I know it's something I wanna do. I've done my research on this. Or, oh yeah, this may be great, I'm all set to be a lawyer, and then you get to college and you go, absolutely fucking not, I hate everything about this is fucking stupid. I realize I hate law. Take that 6 months and go do an internship. You know, maybe see if I like it. Oh, let me do an internship for fucking 3 months. Let me go talk to these other people. Let me go do something drastic and crazy that I would never in a million years think I'd like. Let me give it a shot. Let me go and do something, even if it's something small. Like, let me start taking up photography. And you be something like me and learn that I love photography and that is a great hobby and I have an eye for it and I have done professional photography jobs. If I really wanted to, I can make a solid career at that if that's what I wanted to do and open a photography business. Or people have said, hey, listen, when you get out of, while I was in college, hey, if you get out of college, or even now that I'm now out of college and not doing college anymore, hey, if you're ever looking for a photography gig, let me know. I could always use some more photographers. You have the option to do that, or people post an ad on Craigslist or whatever. However you gotta set it up. I don't wanna get too much into that specific of it, but find yourself. Figure out who the fuck you are before you make these huge decisions financially and time-wise that's gonna affect the rest of your life. You're asking people who are 18 years old, you just became an adult, or you're going to become an adult soon, or you have become an adult just a year ago. You're still basically a kid at this point. You're a young adult or a kid, and you're like, I don't know who I am or what the fuck I want to do for the rest of my life. There's no reason you should be making a gigantic decision that's going to affect the rest of your life right the fuck now. Figure out who you are, take a little bit of time off, even if it's 6 to 9 months, skip a semester at least, if you have the possibility to do so, and figure out who the fuck you are first before you ever do anything like go to college or sign up for a trade school or anything. Make sure you figure out who the fuck you are first. Another thing is doing high school programs, things like over here, the AP, Advanced Placement, or Dual Enrollment. We could take a class which is called AP. This connects to a community college, so if you're going to the local community college for us, you could do that. AP is called Advanced Placement. You essentially take the class, it's a college level class in high school, take a test at the end of the year. As long as you pass the class and the test, you get a college credit for that particular community college. Dual Enrollment is basically you go to college and you take college level courses at the college for, I think it's like a year or two before you graduate high school, and you essentially get all your schooling done, and then you take 2 years of college ahead of time. I know a lot of people who've done that, and they're leaps and bounds ahead of where everybody else is in college because they took that opportunity and then it led into that school. Now again, if you're not going to that local community college, sometimes it doesn't necessarily apply. Things like dual enrollment might, because you're getting college credits from the community college at the community college, which then you could apply to other schools, and a lot of other schools accept that. Again, not all of them. Some of them 4-year degree programs, they get that. They could go to another 4-year degree program somewhere else. Some places, like again, the local community college transfers into the state school. You get a 4-year degree here and then finish the last 2 years over there. You get an associate's degree at the community college, and then you get your last 2 years at the state school. Any way that you can set it up to save money and go to school quicker, easier, faster, better, cheaper is a great way to do it. So doing programs like that while you're still in high school is an extraordinary way to set it up, because then now you're ahead of the game. Now you're saving money, you already got work done, you're smarter, you're knowledgeable, and you're better off for it because you took the time to do it while in high school. Yes, it's a lot of work, but you took the work into steps, so therefore you get to reap the benefits. 8, just kind of reminder that anything that's donated or given directly towards education is often tax-free. I am not an accountant. You probably have to talk to your accountant specifically about that. But if you have people, this kind of sweeten the deal. If you need family members to give you money towards your education, say, hey, listen, no, it's a tax write-off. It's tax-free. I don't get taxed on it. Talk to an accountant, of course, and everything before you make your tax decisions. But oftentimes, money given towards education, especially higher forms of education, is often tax-free and/or tax deductible. So just kind of keep that in mind. State programs, I know in Florida has, I think it's like Sunshine State, something along those another. If you're in a certain bracket, like you're a student along these lines, and then this line, and then this for the top program, it goes like a bronze, silver, gold, or something along those lines. If you're within one of those 3 programs, you have a good portion of your college paid for. Most of your college paid for, all of your college paid for, as long as it qualifies under these state schools or something along those lines, and you stay within the state of Florida. Of course, you want to look into it and find what programs you have in your state, if you have programs like that, and what the qualifications for that would be. But I know people who went to school for the first few years of college completely free, or all of their college completely free, because they were a really great student in high school, applied for these programs, met the requirements, did the community service, whatever it was, and went to a qualifying school. They went to a great state school and got to live that happy college life. Look for internships and jobs that pay for your college. I know Target, Walmart, Taco Bell, McDonald's. These are just a few examples of jobs that will pay for your college. I'll try and put another list of maybe some of those here. They'll pay for part of your college. Again, some of them are like very specific circumstances and want to make them look good than to actually apply for college and be used. But more often than not, some of those, if you apply for them and you qualify for that, you could get part of or all of your tuition paid for, which is a great thing. You get paid to work there, maybe get an internship, maybe have a further career along those lines if you want to work at a Target or Walmart or something along those lines. And you then get your college paid for by that place, or it has some sort of deal worked out. I know, again, some higher level ups, office jobs at Targets, both mine and other places, they got their master's degree paid for because they qualified, and now they're store directors, and now they're higher level ups, or they're within the company, now they do desk jobs, and they make a significant amount of money. And they had all their college and tuition paid for by the company they're now also working for. It's a great way to move up in the company. It's a great way to show some sort of commitment if it's a long-term goal, if it's somewhere that you want to work. It's a great way to get free education. If it's to get a job, pay for it a little bit, even if your parents are paying for all of it, even if your parents are paying for none of it, even if it's just you, get a job, put some skin in the game, even if it's all the skin you have, put it in the game, and do the math. If you have the option to say, okay, do I want to work in fast food or a server? Do the math and say, well, if I get paid more an hour here and I work more hours here versus I have hours here, then maybe this is a better option for me. Oh, this gives me more freedom to study and do stuff like that. Really look at it and don't just accept the first job that comes by. But do, even if your parents, I know people who parents paid for the whole thing of their college. Even if you have that, take a job and put some skin in the game, even if it's a small amount, even if you put in $100 a month or whatever it is. Put some skin in it, because now you know, oh hey, I'm working towards and I'm paying my way towards college. I'm not gonna slack off, because it's not somebody else's money now, it's my money being wasted too if I really fuck this up. If I paid for college, I guarantee you I would have been probably a better student. That's the situation. I mean, I wasn't a good student in college because I wasn't built for that. That's not what I wanted in life. That's not my goal. But I would have been forced to do better regardless, even if I put my money to it, because then I'm saying I'm wasting money. Instead, I didn't have to pay for it because I got scholarships and I got all this stuff that, even not wanting to go to college, I still got because I was a good student in school. So putting your own money towards it kind of does a psychological effect. One, it makes it easier than on your parents or anybody else paying for it. Two, some positions require you, hey, if in order to get the scholarship, you do have to have a job and pay for part of it. So I've seen situations like that where you have to work at this specific place and then pay towards part of that, volunteering or whatever you have to do. Even if not, even if you're getting it all for free, put some skin in the game in some way, shape, or form, buying a textbook or paying for your housing or however you have to do. Make sure you have a job and you're putting money towards it. Step is to avoid the crazy college life. I know a lot of people go to college for the experience of going to college versus why they go to state schools and community college and Ivy Leagues to get that college experience, talk to people, go to clubs, join all that, which is amazing, but don't get sucked up into the crazy part of college life, going out every night. Some people have better opportunities than others, but don't go out every night spending money. Don't rent the best place on campus and have this amazing, oh wow, these facilities are great and I have my own private water fountain and the bathroom shoots out Kool-Aid and this and that. You don't need all that. You're a college student, live like one. Save money, because a lot of people who go to college can't afford things above tuition, all that, and then they have to get stuck paying for housing, which in a lot of places is $800 to $1,000 a month. Avoid places or just like living on your own if you don't have the money to do that. Even if you kind of do, avoid it. Try and live with a roommate, find a good friend or do something, make some new friends. Just go, okay, I'm gonna live on my own and pay all this ridiculous amount of money when you really don't have to. At the end of the day, a lot of things are frats. If you want to join a frat or sorority or something like that, make sure that's something that you really genuinely want to do. I asked a lot of my friends, I'm like, hey, are you in a frat or this, that, especially when they first got there, and they go, no. I said, do you understand how fucking ridiculously expensive frats are? Between frat fees and then going to all the things and then the new clothes and doing this and chipping in for parties and buying beer runs and this and that. They said, it is ridiculously fucking expensive. So try and avoid the crazy college lifestyle if you don't have the money for it. Make friends, go out, have fun, do stuff at home. You can have fun and make friends and have a great college experience without throwing a ridiculous amount of money at it. Again, I'm not saying it's going to be completely free. I'm not saying don't go out and eat every once in a while. But I'm saying don't go and live this fucking lifestyle of fucking craziness while you're in college that you cannot afford. Especially then if it requires you taking out student loans to do that, which again, we're going to get into. Don't take a student loan ever, but a lot of people require student loans, or they feel require student loan because they paid all this money up front and took out student loans for tuition, and now they're left with nothing for their average lifestyle. They went to a school that's too expensive. They didn't budget their money correctly. Maybe they're not working. Maybe they are. They ain't looking to scholarships or programs. And now they're already on the balls of their feet. And then now they go, oh, hey, guess what? I still have to live. And then they also want to get suckered into a bigger lifestyle of frats, this, that, which require more money than just average living. So make sure you're being now budgetly sensitive. Make sure you're living, and when you go food shopping and stuff, make sure you're being self-conscious. Don't get crazy about it. Or be conscious of what you're spending money on. You're now going to be an adult from this point on for the rest of your life. You have to understand, hey, this is how I budget money. Have fun, have a good time. That's what college is there for, the experience of it, at least if you go to a college. And make sure you enjoy that and use it to its fullest, but don't get stupid with it. That's the main thing, is don't get stupid. Get a side job or get creative is now our next point. Get creative in ways to save money. Oh, hey, I have this kind of living situation now. I live with 3 people and we set this up. Get creative and borrow textbooks with friends. Get creative and find ways to find things online. Get creative with posters and stuff. Oh, I need to do a project. I'm not going out to the expensive arts and crafts store and buying 60 billion things. I got free stuff. I got a free box. I got free cardboard. I did this. Get creative with it. Get creative with side jobs. Maybe you're good at design. Maybe you're learning design in schools. The Nike logo was designed by a college student and they got paid $75 for it. Back whenever it was created, but they got paid $75 for it. Maybe you go someplace and say, hey, I'm in college for art design. I'd love the chance to design a logo. Or, hey, I'm in for photography, or I like photography, or I like music. You play a band on the weekend. You play for a couple hours and, somebody hands you $30 and a free meal. It's a free meal and $30 more than you had. Get creative with it. Whatever you can do to get creative with your side jobs and saving money, do it. You know, you're young, you're fun, have a good time, but use that young, fun, have a good timeness towards getting creative in ways of saving money and helping you in life. And those ways may become prevalent later on in life. You may learn, oh, hey, I know an old college trick to save me $100 from having to do this. Get educated, make sure you're understandable, and speak to experts and people other than myself, the do's and don'ts, and listen to people who know what they're doing. There's plenty of people who are more educated on the subject than me. There's about a bajillion books and websites that you can look at in places. Don't just blindly follow one person's advice, mine included. Look into it and see what's best for you and get really significantly educated. Again, back to the parents, the advisors, speaking to people. Maybe they have a way of interning or working from school and you get to pay for part of that. Oh, hey, if you do this and you work here, you get this class with a significant discount, or whatever the situation may be. Maybe if you help the teacher, you're a teacher advisor, you get part of it, it's paid. Whatever it is, get educated and make sure you know what you're doing. Even before then, you get in, read books, look up things online, look up scholarship options, talk to advisors, talk to parents, talk to people who went to that school, talk to people who went to other schools, and just get all the information that you need that's valuable and useful towards your life. Get educated and listen to people who know what they're talking about. Finally is don't take out student loans. That's the final thing that I'm gonna leave you on. I know we talked about it a lot throughout, but don't take out student loans. Like I said before, the average student loan is anywhere from $32,000 to $35,000 a person by the time they leave college. And then they also have to pay interest on that because a lot of people fall behind. It's not you can't get rid of it with bankruptcy. That's the only thing that you really can't get rid of with bankruptcy. And it's gonna be stuck with you for the rest of your life. There's a lot of programs that people pass, and maybe this, and maybe college will be free, and maybe people will forgive it. But you can't live your life on maybes and hopes and dreams if you're not willing to take the practice and say, hey, listen, I'm gonna stop myself from getting in a bad situation to begin with and not live on those maybes. 13% of Americans, they said like 1 in 8 are in debt with student loans. And in the hope of saying maybe one day I'll get a high-paying job, unless it's even a doctor and a lawyer and this, that. But then it's not just your simple like $20,000, $30,000 student. I say simple, you know, it's not simple. It's simple towards that income level, but you know, not simple for the average person. $32,000 to $40,000, you're looking at 6 figures, $100,000, $200,000. You get a doctorate in something, you become a doctor. You could be looking at fucking $500,000 worth of student loans. I've heard of people with $1 million student loans. You know, you're 35 and you have $1 million student loan, you're making 100 grand a year, you're gonna have a tough time. That's the only way to put it to you. You're gonna have a real tough time. And there's also no guarantee that you're gonna get a job in that field or even get a job to begin with. Coming out of college, a lot of people think, oh, hey, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get a job. And like I talked to on the podcast, if you listen to the podcast that I did with my dad, and we talked a lot about that. He talked about how at the time they were talking about trade schools and working with your hands or something like that. But he also talked to us, hey, the people who went to college, they were told when you get out of college, you're gonna have a job. That's a big lie, especially now. Not a lot of places are hiring. That's just like, yes, you came out of college fresh. Here, have a fucking 80 grand, $100,000 a year job. It's not gonna be the career for the rest of your life. You're gonna have to work somewhere and struggle for a little bit. Then you're gonna build up, or you're gonna work in the fucking mailroom of a company and you build your way up. And again, there's nothing wrong with that, but thinking that you're gonna get this immaculate, amazing job paying high-paying wages, so let me just take out all this debt and live a lavish, crazy college lifestyle now is not a way to do it. So that's it. Those are our big tips and ways to save money on college. A lot of it is done through legwork from you and just really doing your part, making sure you get educated, smart, and then take the steps that you need to save money from it. A lot of it is also not being emotional. I want to go to this school because my friends are going here and it's a nice campus, this, that. A lot of it is thinking rationally and being smart and thinking, what part of the experience will I value? What part of it do I hear about that I think will be great? And how much is that worth to me? You know, I'm not taking out loans, just that. Is this something I can reasonably do and pay for? Is this something that I'm gonna need my parents' help for? Is this something that I'm gonna need to do this? And then ways to mitigate that. Okay, I picked out a school that's affordable. I have a way of setting it up. Even though it's something affordable that I could do and reasonably live from and have a great time and have a great experience with, how do I get it for even cheaper? Doing that will then provide an amazing and excellent college experience for you if you decide to go to college in the first place. I hope you guys like this video, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know, did you guys go to college? If you did, how much did it cost you to go to college? If you had any student loans, God, I hope you don't, but I know a lot of you do. Tell me, how you feel about the student loans right now? If you guys like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.